Last year, for my Halloween reviews, I tackled Hellboy in all of his various incarnations. This year, following in that tradition, I will take on the task of reviewing the Vampire Hunter D series, including its books, movies, and comics. For today, we will deal with the novels, as it is there that this most strange series got its start. The premise of the multitude of books is fairly basic. It's the future, again, and humanity has suffered several crippling blows and has been knocked back to a Wild West-esque social arrangement. The reason for this, however, is because at some point in the past, vampires, usually called nobles, over the course of the books, came into being, took over, and developed a lot of over-the-top machinery and scientific advances that they used as a rule for their own pleasure and or to torment humanity. But the vampires are dying out now, and in their wake they leave a lot of malfunctioning equipment, bizarre monsters, and general chaos. The extinction of the nobles is hastened by the use of bounty hunters, amongst who, as one might guess, is the eponymous title character, D. D, basically, is the Bishonen equivalent of Clint Eastwood's Man with No Name. He's gorgeous, attracting everyone in sight, men and women alike, without once needing to sparkle, tight-lipped about his origins and intentions, and, by virtue of his being a Dhampir, half-human, half-vampire, extremely powerful, both physically and mentally. Indeed, D's strength is even greater than that of the average vampire, and he comes equipped with a bizarre parasite of sorts, which manifests as a face in his left hand, who acts as D's equivalent of a computer, albeit a wise-cracking one, when the Dhampir himself doesn't know the answer to something. Thus equipped, D travels from town to town, hunting vampires and monsters, and forever suffering the pangs of being a child of two worlds, hated by vampires for hunting his own kind, and hated by humans because 90% of the humans in this world are apparently total assholes. This segues into my main complaint about the books. As mentioned, virtually all the humans, with the exception of the new female protagonist each book has as par for the course, act like total depraved dipshits, a la the townspeople in High Plains Drifter, but worse, and my am I leaning heavily on my Western movies knowledge for this review. The townsfolk never trust Dee, even though they're the ones who hired him, and they often shoot down any suggestion of his or go out of their way to make his life difficult. The vampires of the stories, on the other hand, act, while often still monsters, tragic characters. Ergo, if you're anything like me, you wind up rooting for the nobles pretty promptly, no matter how horrible they're made out to be. The prose of the books is also very deceptive, moving at a strange, dreamy pace and lulling you into a false sense of security to the point where you can miss the fact that something huge has happened and backtrack only to discover that D has killed 20 vampiric minions and saved the damsel in distress. Ultimately, though, these flaws cannot taint the overall awesome of the books. Indeed, everything in the novels is just a backdrop for the awesomeness of D, who shines like a gem in the post-apocalyptic mess of his world and whose sex appeal is almost a palpable thing. Clearly, the author, Hideyuki Kikuchi, enjoys pleasing his female fans. As for myself, my favorite book of the lot is Demon Death Chase, in which D must rescue a girl who has been ostensibly kidnapped by a vampire. In so doing, he must race against a second group of vampire hunters who do not play fair, to put it mildly, while also contending with the vampire's mutant bodyguards to boot. It's a wild ride from start to end and also serves as inspiration for the second Vampire Hunter D film. That's it for now. Next time, I review Vampire Hunter D in his animated state. Ta!